Lessons in Dating. We're on episode 2, and we're talking today, Tracey, about how do you know you are ready to start dating?
That is a big question because I think sometimes we just wing it. Sometimes we're just like, you know what?
Yep.
I'm having a lonely night on a Friday night.
That's right.
Download an app and here I go. Right. And I mean,
without being prepared.
Oh yeah. What is that?
How many times have we been on this journey? So I'm Cassandra.
I'm Tracey.
And let's dive in.
With the 2 single therapists in the dating pool. Let's dive in. Yes. It reminds me of when you're not prepared sometimes, when you go to the beach or to a pool.
Totally. You got to have the tools.
And what do you end up forgetting?
Yep.
It's usually something they end up forgetting that is very important, right?
You know,
so
like we talked about in the last episode, sunscreen. You gotta have the sunscreen.
You gotta have it.
You gotta have the floaties. You gotta have your fruity drink and a book. And friends and like all these like things that just make it more enjoyable and fun.
Yes. So how do you know you're ready? I think that is such a good topic for us to talk about today.
Yes.
Because like I shared in the previous episode, I jumped in way before I was ready when I was not healed from my own trauma. I was not ready. And did I know at the time? No, because I didn't have insight into that unhealed trauma to know how much it was destructive in my life.
Right.
I just wanted to find love and be with someone and be loved by someone.
Right.
But all the wrong reasons for me, they were the wrong reasons because I was not ready.
Right. And I can relate to that.
Yeah.
You know that like you've heard my story too. And we are definitely on the same page with that that sense of, those negative core beliefs, feeling that or sensing into those attachment issues, whether it be that like, you know, that anxious energy that goes into, are they going to message me back? Or, oh my gosh, like, they haven't like got back to me quick enough.
They left me on red. Why did they do that?
10 minutes. Like, slow your roll.
Like panic mode sets in. Like, already found someone else. Obviously didn't like me.
Right.
I'm flawed.
Whole story.
I'm not worthy.
Narrative
on and on.
Yep.
On and on.
And then abandonment issues.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one.
You know, that sense of feeling like when we talk about codependency, like feeling like someone else is the center of our own emotional stability.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is, that certainly can really derail you.
Yes. So I'm a big fan of Mel Robbins and she has a podcast and she has a podcast on the attachment styles and especially for relationships. And I love this one because it goes into those descriptive attachment styles, what they are and really how they can get in the way of those relationships, you know? And again, when you're looking for healthy relationships, healthy love, and we struggle with those attachment issues, you know, and whether it's us or whether it's a potential partner that are struggling, you know, it's going to cause some toxicity.
Absolutely. And you'll notice that. I mean, and those of us who have certain attachment styles tend to attract other kinds of attachment styles.
It's a magnet. Yes.
So to be aware of that, right? Like, and not to say, I mean, you can, oftentimes we are not 100% secure, 100% anxious, 100%, you know, dismissive. And those are some attachment styles. Like definitely Mel, I'm sure dished about all of these, different attachment styles and then different steps to take to kind of figure it out. Yeah.
The podcast is called Why Do I Love the Way I Love? And so if anybody gets an opportunity to check that out, give it a listen, give it a try, see what you learn from it, you know, because when we go back to how do I know I'm ready for a relationship, looking for love, you want to know that you're keeping yourself in check. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think a huge part of the success and determining if you're ready, you will not ever be completely perfect or completely healed. You're always going to be like working towards self-discovery, self-inquiry, like learning about yourself.
Yeah.
And I get this conversation a lot with clients of mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've even thought that in my own life, like, oh, this thing isn't like completely where I want it to be.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, it's like, so just because like, you know, there's one thing that we're working on in our lives.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like, we don't have to have that all together.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can remember, and I'm pretty sure you can remember, I messaged you. I don't know if I called you, but I know I messaged you. It was just a few short weeks ago on a first date I went on, and it did not go how I was hoping it was going to go. Yeah. And for a hot second, those insecurities had a like, hello, let me knock on your door for a minute. Right. And I knocked on my door for a minute, and then I had that reminder, right? I had that reminder to say, no, like this was just not a match. No. And it wasn't those. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. No. But, you know, like that hot minute, those insecurities quick came up and kind of met me at the door to say, wait a minute here. Yeah. Are you not feeling good enough? What happened? Yeah. And I was able to reel myself back in and say, hey, no, it's just wasn't a match. It wasn't going to be it. Yeah. And that's okay. Right.
That's for your girlfriends.
And I'm like, oh, and then you're like, put that up, put that queen.
Remember that crown.
Oh yeah.
I am here for you, sister.
Yes.
I am here for you. Just to be that voice of reason.
Absolutely.
And like to help ground you.
Yes. Because we need that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you know, we're going to have that. And you've experienced too, yes, like that letdown, that disappointment. Right. And it's a natural thing to have that letdown or disappointment. And
resiliency.
Wipe the tear.
Right.
Have a drink, have chocolate,
a nice
keep
warm
on
bath,
going.
A nice bubble bath. Like we get it going.
Freshen up the makeup.
Yeah. So resiliency.
Yes,
is definitely,
that's a big one.
Like I think about that, like having that ability to have resiliency through rejection.
Oh,
and
yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'm trying to recall this this phrase, like rejection is redirection, or it's like something like that.
It was.
Where, like rejection, like you look at it, I don't actually look at, like I really have done a lot of personal work on myself in the last like 9 months. On the sense of rejection that like, I know my worth. Mm-hmm. And if you have this like different way of looking at it, like, I can't be for everyone.
Absolutely.
Just because I am like worthy and I have all these wonderful things, wonderful qualities. Sometimes those personality features are different, like the energy is different or something like that. Yeah. And if you can go into dating and you have this ability, this capacity to be like understanding that, this can be true, like that I am all these things and I'm great and wonderful and all these great qualities.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But then maybe they are too. Maybe this person that you're dating has all these great qualities, but you're not a good fit together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh yeah. I mean, I've had many dates where the guy he was great. He was amazing. He was a really good guy, just didn't have the connection that I was looking for. Right. Oh, there was a spark there. There was just something missing that I knew that I could keep going and trying, but there was just something missing there that it just wasn't going to work. It wasn't because he's a bad person or I'm a bad person or anything like that. It just wasn't a match, and that's okay. Yeah. But going back to that, how to know that you're ready. I mean, there's so many things that you've talked about as well, like the self-discovery. Yeah. How we have to be able to really have those conversations with ourselves to say, am I still struggling with unhealed trauma? Because that will blow a bomb in relationships.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, if you have not worked on your trauma, it will eventually creep into friendships.
Yep.
Family relationships and absolutely intimate relationships.
Absolutely. And so many levels, so many different ways. So that's a big one. Yeah. If you're struggling with codependency.
Right.
So if you think about, what that codependency looks like, that's very toxic also in a relationship. And I would say in either partner, and it's even double toxic if it's both that struggle with that, you know?
Yes.
And that one really, really is, you know, what are some things that when you think of codependency, what are some things that describe that? What is codependency? Like,
well,
how would you?
So when, like, I think that we talked about that before, that if you are relying on your own emotional stability in someone, in the sense of someone else, that this other person is going to keep you stable. They're going to like make sure that you're feeling good and that you're okay, that you're all right. And that like, they are the person who is like grounding you. You're in trouble, because when they're dysregulated, when they are having a bad day, when things aren't going well for them, it tends to look like you have a bad day too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And
it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Very clingy. Just making sure, like, if you're having a bad day, I'm going to have a bad day. You're happy? Ooh, then I can be happy. You know?
And that's not a good fit.
Right.
For like a secure, healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we talk about relationships, like there is, Brene Brown talks about like the sense of,
she is
this,
just
like,
a queen for sure. Right? She is.
So there is this misunderstanding or myth that it's 50-50.
Yeah.
That is not even, it's not possible, because there may be some days where someone shows up and they're at 80%. And there might be some days where I show up and I'm at 10%. To have a partner who can say, hey, this is where I'm at. Where are you at? Let's communicate. How can we work together? Like, that is a healthy version. Right. And so to realize that, if we are secure in ourselves, that we're healthy, and to get there, we'll talk about how to get there.
Absolutely.
That it can really help us be in a more grounded space to like be in a relationship, but like even the dating process.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Then like, just because someone isn't messaging you, you're moving on with your queen self and having your day, and you're going out with your girlfriend.
That's right.
You're not waiting around for,
not staring at your phone,
and like hoping that he's going to call or message or whatever, right? Like, you're moving on with your queen self.
Absolutely. What are you willing to tolerate? What are you willing? Where's your boundaries? What's your expectations?
Right.
Yeah. How to know you're ready. So we've talked about unhealed trauma. We've talked about codependency. And I think another one is the insecurities, like just knowing for yourself, like, am I ready because I'm insecure? My insecurities are telling me. All my friends and all my friends, everyone I know is in a relationship. Everyone's getting married.
Oh,
I'm by myself. Oh my gosh. Right. Or, you know, those type of things. Like, am I doing it for the reasons of that? Right.
Yeah.
I can say, and again, you know, like I definitely feel like I'm meant to be with someone in this world, and I want to be, but I'm not, like, my life is not on hold waiting for that to happen. I'm living my life. I'm enjoying it. I'm out in the dating world, but I'm also knowing, like, every person I'm going on a date with I'm not there to be like, I'm going to cling onto my claws and you have to be the one. Like,
no,
that's not there anymore. Right.
That's so much pressure.
It is so much pressure, and it's exhausting, and like sitting there and going and in my unhealed self.
Right.
I was like throwing myself at someone like, look at me. I'm an amazing woman. Look at me. I'm successful.
Validation.
Look at me. I'm going to treat you like, you know, give you everything you want in the world. Right. Yeah. And none of it was appreciated.
Right.
But so much of that was because of those insecurities and all the wrong reasons that I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And I didn't do the work.
Yeah.
That we're going to talk about.
Yep.
But I didn't do that work to put myself in that position to say, yes, I'm ready for the right reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's another thought.
Yeah.
That even if like, you're like, is it the right time? Maybe I should try. It's okay to try.
Absolutely.
It's
absolutely.
Okay. Put yourself out there. Go on a couple dates.
Yep.
Like, it's about learning about yourself, and not to like look at it like, oh, I'm going to use these people to kind of figure myself out.
Right.
But like, that this is an experience of learning about yourself. Like, that is what dating is. You're finding what fits and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, there are a lot of incredible people out there Like there are some good
that don't fit.
Well, there are some good guys.
Yes.
There are some good guys, and there are a lot of people who don't fit.
That don't fit. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's okay. Like,
would that be like trying on a swimsuit? Like you can try in a bunch, and there's a lot that like
some are like
that doesn't fit.
Too tight.
That doesn't fit.
Or like parts of your body just don't like look right. Like it just doesn't. It's just not working.
In the dating world, and it reminds me of sometimes of like trying to get yourself on a floaty.
Oh,
and sometimes
Tracey,
it's not
like,
graceful.
I can picture it right now. Times in my life, I've tried to get on those darn tubes in the lazy river.
You're flopping around.
And it's like, it's the lazy river. Can you just get on the tube?
Yeah, no.
And then you can float.
Yeah.
But like, it's hard to get on.
It's hard. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And that reminds me exactly like the dating world.
That's a great picture.
And how many times have you been in the lazy river where your tube is just not blown
inflated.
up. It's not inflated all the way. And then it just causes them more problems,
And then we get traffic jams.
Oh, that is not okay.
All the things.
Yes, all the things. And then the people that bump into yours that cross boundaries.
Oh.
Like, get away from my tube. Don't put your feet on my tube. Have you had that happen before?
What do you do though? I kind of gently them away.
Yeah, like your foot is on my tube.
Or your foots are touching your foot. That's even worse.
That's even bad. Yeah, yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah, so let's talk about how to do the Oh,
well,
yes.
So absolutely, I would say therapy. You have two therapists here that are talking to you, right? And we both work with women. We both have, experienced our own therapy. 100%, I would say, consider therapy. I will be in therapy the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's not about me, it's thankfully I'm at the point in my life where I'm at maintenance stage in my therapy journey. I'm navigating certain things that are happening in my life with my therapist.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and
absolutely.
But it doesn't mean that we're all in the same boat, right? Like we're not all in the same journey.
Absolutely.
Part of our journey.
Yeah.
So if you have had therapy before, like maybe think about it.
Yeah.
And certainly, like therapy is not about something being wrong with you.
Right. Correct.
It's not about fixing anything. It's about self-exploration. It's about working on certain things that make up who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And there is absolutely 100% ability to heal trauma.
Absolutely. And I mean, the quality of your life, like your quality of life completely improves.
Yes.
Because you can function better. You can learn how to live better. You take care of yourself better.
Right.
Your understanding of yourself, everything that goes with living.
Right.
Yes. Like your quality of life just is better.
Yes. Yes, it is. So definitely, I would say exploring attachment style, exploring if you have a history of codependency with your therapist to identify that. Mm-hmm. You can even go into therapy with like, hey, I've done these like assessments on these ladies dating podcast. Hey, here you go, therapist.
That's right. That's right. Yes. And which reminds me, we are going to be attaching some resources. Yes. We'll attach some resources that and some links that we will have on our podcast for our viewers and listeners to be able to look at and do some self inventories and some learning.
Exactly. So one of the attachment resources that I have is Dr. Tice Gibson's book, Learning Love. And she developed the integrated attachment theory and talks about different kinds of attachment styles. She has a online resource called Personal Development School where she goes into, she is fantastic.
She is on it.
She's someone that I recommend to my clients very consistently, where if you want to explore attachment, you want to kind of get a sense of like, oh, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
Why am I feeling this? And then she gives, you do have to purchase parts of it. She does have free resources on YouTube as well.
Okay.
But this book is incredible. I think it could be really helpful for you. And then also she does have an attachment style quiz.
Nice.
And there are a variety of them on the link that I will provide.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and even if you aren't really sure about an attachment style, like you're not really sure what it means,
right.
Go ahead and take a look at it. There's no harm in taking a look at it.
That's right.
Seeing if it's something that applies to you, if something that you struggle with, something that you're identifying is like, whoa, like this is me. This is some of my whys of why I'm struggling, why I'm in the same patterns, the same cycles, the same struggles, hitting walls, all those things with especially with relationships and meeting people in the dating world. Right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And then the other thing that I would say is like, there are all sorts of podcasts, like we talked about Mel's podcast.
Yeah.
Just finding these things that might really speak to you. There are different belief systems that we all have that, really can come into play here. Some spiritual support podcasts, if that is an important thing to you. And one of the people that I really gravitate toward is Dr. Nicole LaPera, the holistic psychologist.
Ooh.
She is
full
of the wisdom.
She is.
So this book,
this
book, How to Be the Love That You Seek.
That book I recommend to so many women I work with. It is an amazing book, an amazing read.
And so she talks about all of these components, like the attachment styles. And then there are tons of resources in the chapters for personal exploration that you can, again, you could bring to a therapy appointment. You can bring to a therapist, explore more.
And she's got workbooks that go with that book. She's got workbooks that go in, and there's workbooks for couples related to that, and as for individual.
Yes.
So
she is
absolutely great resource.
She's on Instagram and Facebook. Like filling your feed, like your social media feed with like good, positive, healthy resources is another way to empower yourself and all of that good stuff.
Another topic, the how to know you're ready. I think part of it is recognizing too is, how do you know what you're looking for? That's huge. How do you know what you're even looking for?
That's right.
Like you could be ready, but do you really know your checklists?
Right.
You have to have checklists, right? The deal breaker side, the must have.
Yes.
How do you know you're ready? Part of that is knowing that you can be solid and confident in your checklist and know it's not to feel guilt. It's not a guilty thing. Nope. It's not a too picky thing. It's not being too arrogant. Nope. It's you knowing what is going to work best for you in a partner.
That's right.
It's not like, again, you said not before, like you've said several times, we're not perfect people, and who we're looking for isn't going to be a perfect person, but they're going to be perfect for us.
That's right. That's right.
Based on what we know, what we're looking for.
Yes.
And if there's deal breakers, it's a deal breaker.
It's
a solid deal breaker.
That's a line in the sand.
Yes, it is.
That's the line in the sand. Okay.
Is it like the boundary around the floaty? Like,
you
know what?
Yeah. Yes. For sure. Yes. So,
yes.
I have a resource to share on really exploring that. So this is what I do with a lot of my clients, and I've done myself. So not only am I someone who recommends this, I am someone who does this. So there's a journaling exercise that I recommend that it's just like basically freestyle writing out, and I have 80 qualities that I've identified.
What?
Now, let me preface that I don't need this man to have 80 qualities. Yeah. This list is it's not like they need to meet all of this. This is my exercise.
Okay.
For myself to explore what is important to me. What are the personality qualities?
True.
What are the different things that we should have in common potentially? Doesn't mean that they're deal breakers, but like, hey, yeah, I'd like to have
Yes.
someone who is active, someone who is fit, someone who prioritizes family, someone who is a father, who knows what it's like to be a dad, someone who maybe has been married before or not, or, you know, like, so you can have this ideal like person, you know, like this ideal
like
person.
80. But then I was thinking like, oh, I did bring 2 pages of qualities. That probably is like 80.
So yeah, maybe we need to follow up with that next time. So
that's so true though, because you're right. The checklist.
Yeah.
You like, have to know.
So sitting with that, like lighting a candle, putting some like, I don't know, essential oils like on or something. Right? Some calming music.
Yes.
Like get into like the love space.
The fluffy robe. Like a fluffy robe.
You can just do whatever feels right. You could get your swimsuit on, like I don't know.
You can sit in the floaty.
I
mean,
imagine all sorts of things. Right?
Cabana, man. I know. Fanning you, whatever that is, right?
So, you know, you think about this, and I'm not talking about tall, dark, handsome.
I mean, that's on my list.
But your list is different though.
That is so true.
Your list might be different. That might be like something that is important to you. So what I have learned is that I actually don't have a physical type anymore. It's more like, I mean, like I need to be attracted to someone, right?
I mean, there's that.
But it's not like he needs to be 6 foot tall and he needs to be dark hair and he needs to be this. Like, you know, But I mean, I've dated men with lots of different colored hair and different heights and, you know, but like the most important thing to me is like of course I need to be attracted, but the values and the personality. Right? Like the values and personality, because if you do not have those like aligned things, like those deal breakers, like,
and the chemistry.
So here's the thing with those 80 qualities, narrow it down to 10.
Oh,
so then those are your deal breakers.
Okay.
Maybe,
oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so then you're like, they have to live a healthy lifestyle. What does that mean to live a healthy lifestyle?
Yeah.
Like doesn't smoke, exercises, like, you know, I don't know, eats healthy or something like that. Whatever is important to you, but like thinking about like certain things that are the most important, and then having that flexibility. Like we don't want to be rigid.
Exactly.
But you know, just knowing like, oh, well, maybe this, maybe that, like, you know, so beyond like, it's also not only like beyond looks, but, if they like tacos, that's not like, I don't, tacos. I know I do too, but like, I wouldn't not date someone because they don't like tacos.
Right. Yes. like
we're talking about deeper
connections and deeper. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So when we think about how to know when you're ready, I would say not only like as a woman in the dating world, but as a therapist as well, do the work for yourself to really ask yourself those deep questions to say, am I really truly ready to be out there?
Right.
And I do believe like it can be a lot of fun to be out there in the dating world and it not feel like it has to be like this earth shattering, like crisis or devastation or all these things. Right. Because we're going to have disappointment. We're going to have rejection. Things aren't going to go. I mean, you definitely had some blooper first dates for sure.
That's coming on other episodes.
Yes.
Lots of stories.
But no, yes. Yeah. We do have lots of stories. We're going to have our own stash of chocolate. And what did we talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But knowing that you're ready, I mean, I think it's just important to, you know, and to know that if you're going out there to give it a shot to see, like, am I truly ready? Give it a shot. See what happens.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly.
You'll find out pretty quick.
Rein it in. If
you
need to.
Yeah. And recognize like, this was overwhelming. This is too much. Or maybe what I'm looking for, maybe I'm just not quite because you have to be prepared. The reality is you have to be prepared for disappointments.
Right.
You have to be prepared for rejection.
Yes.
And understand that it's not always an internalizing thing where you have to sit there and question like, oh my gosh, like what is so wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like what is happening?
Okay.
And recognize like, hey, this could be disappointing or I was rejected, but it just wasn't a match. And I want someone to be super excited for me just as much as I want to be excited about them. There's a difference.
So there is a woman, Jillian Turecki, who I am a huge fan of. And she just posted, she has all these posts recently on like the fact that if those things happen, just because you have an anxious response does not mean that there's something wrong with you.
Absolutely.
Just throwing that out there. That of course, if someone ghosts you, of course, if someone cuts you off with no explanation. It's completely normal for you to have some sort of reaction and emotion to that. It does not mean that you have some unhealed, like, extreme, like, anxious attachment coming out. It's just that you have a healthy, it's like a healthy, normal response to that kind of treatment.
Right. Because rejection is tough, right? And disappointments are tough. I mean, they are. It's a part of our natural feelings and emotions, and a part, but at the end of the day, when we're in those good spaces, we can understand like, okay, that was a little hiccup, a little bump in the road. Going to keep going. Going to keep going. Fluff it up. Keep going. Yes.
So then as we wrap up, the next episode is going to be on boundaries in dating. So we're going to explore a little bit more about what that means.
Yes, it's a must.
Yep. We certainly are looking forward to having you on this journey with us.
Yes. Thank you for joining. Be excited about the next episode. It's going to be a good one.
That's right.
All right.
Take care.
Take care.